Donald Trump's tweets will not age well. I don't think I'm going out on a limb when I say that. All of them, starting in 2015, need to be required reading for anyone who is thinking about voting for him again. I have read them. Those tweets reveal who and what he is. Trump comes across in these tweets as an immature child, a demagogue, a mean-spirited and uninformed person, outlandish and to such an extent that carnival barker is just too kind of a description for him, and a person better suited to selling broken down cars at a used car lot at outrageous prices to those who cannot afford them. Very much like the car dealer who sold one of my mother's caregivers a jalopy. She paid almost all that she had based on the promises of reliability made by the salesman, and the car broke down shortly after she drove it off the lot, becoming non-functional without major repairs that she could not afford, and with the car later being repossessed. Maybe that is what Donald could have done without his father's money and his ability to convince millions that he was or is a genius businessman. The New York Times estimated that Donald received $413 million from his daddy in 2018 dollars, though in Trump's America, that amount was reduced to a $1 million loan that Donald paid back and another $9.6 million loan that he borrowed from his father's estate. That information can be found in a Wikipedia article titled Wealth of Donald Trump. The New York Times has also reported thoroughly on these issues. Trump's tweet earlier today about Taylor Swift was just Donald being Donald, a full-time jerk of epic proportions. Donald suggested that he was responsible for Taylor's success and wealth. Taking credit for what others have done is an integral part of being Donald Trump, as is blaming anyone or anything for his many business failures or anything else that turns out bad that he has done. Taking responsible for bad outcome that he engineered is not something Trump would ever do. Trump had this to say about Taylor, and I'm quoting here. There is no way she could endorse crooked Joe Biden, the worst and most corrupt president in the history of our country, and be disloyal to the man who made her so much money. He is referring to himself there. Since facts do not matter in Trump's America and never will, Trump does not have to back up statements with evidence, but simply makes them over and over and over again without supplying proof. Trump is referring in that quoted tweet that I just quoted to the Music Modernization Act that Trump signed in 2018 that was passed by unanimous votes in the House and Senate and was years in the making. Drafting started in 2013. Those involved with that legislation stated that Trump had absolutely nothing to do with the bill other than sign it. Another tweet from Trump attacked Haley over the past week. Trump asked, quote, "Where's her husband?" "Oh, he's away. What happened to her husband?" Question mark. Where is he? Quote, question mark. He's gone, end of quote. Haley's husband was deployed with the South Carolina National Guard in Africa. One of Trump's tweets about the former Republican congressman from Florida, Joe Scarborough, who had turned into a Trump critic, is just one example of how disgusting Trump can be. Trump tweeted and retweeted a fact-free accusation that Joe Scarborough murdered his aide, Lori Closudis. I'll just spell that. Klausutis. In Trump's America, Joe Scarborough was having an affair with Lori, got her pregnant, and then murdered her to cover up the affair. Trump used a typical way to pass off this kind of fact-free accusation. He said, quote, "A lot of interest in this story about Psycho Joe Scarborough. So a young marathon runner just happened to faint in his office, hit her head on the desk, and die. I would think there was a lot more to the story than that. An affair, question mark. What about the so-called investigation, question mark." After the husband of Lori requested that Twitter delete Trump's hurtful remarks, Trump decided instead to double down and repeat the murder accusations against Scarborough. This resulted in a reply from Lori's husband, and I'll just read this to you. He's obviously very hurt by what Trump is doing. Quote, "The frequency, intensity, ugliness, and promulgation of these horrifying lies ever increases on the internet. These conspiracy theorists, including most recently the President of the United States, continue to spread their bile and misinformation on your platform," referring to Twitter, "disparaging the memory of my wife and our marriage. President Trump on Tuesday tweeted to his nearly 80 million followers, alluding to the repeatedly debunked falsehood that my wife was murdered by her boss, former U.S. Representative Joe Scarborough. This is what the facts were. Of course, they were of no meaning to Trump or his followers. Trump repeated the accusation even when it was shown that Scarborough was 800 miles away when she died. It was documented that she was in Fort Myers, Florida, and Scarborough was in Washington, D.C. when she passed. No evidence was ever produced that there was an affair, of course. By all accounts, she was happily married, and Trump knew that she suffered from a heart condition that caused her to fall. Trump said he read this letter from Lori's husband and believed that authorities needed to get to the bottom of the matter since there was no statute of limitations on murder.